Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about a cool what if fight between two good Nen users like Genthru the Bomber and Kastro the skilled warrior. In Hunter x Hunter, Nen is the most fascinating thing. This power system is so unique, beautiful, incredibly well thought and very practical. This power draws its source from the life force or otherwise called aura of a person, and depending on the personality, will, determination and conditions, you can manipulate this life energy to do fascinating things like enhance your body, strengthen your attacks, protect yourself from even bullets, slow aging, create a deadly weapon or ability depending on what Nen affinity you belong to. The sky is the limit. In other words, it's the most perfect power system out there. As it's been stated in the show, you can never predict the outcome of a Nen battle. You never know the ability your enemy has, and depending on the environment and conditions, the weaker person can outsmart and out-strategize the stronger Nen user. Now we have two Nen users who are the opposite of each other in regards to personality, Kastro and Genthru. Kastro had such incredible potential that even Hisoka praised him for his talent. He was a kind person, but in battle, as a fighter, he was extremely brutal and strong, such that if he had won against Hisoka, he would already be a floor master in Heaven's arena. Prior to fighting Hisoka, he never lost a battle out of 9 fights, while not even being serious or going all out. On the other hand, we have Genthru, who is straight up merciless, a literal fox, and who shows no compassion and literally ends crowds of people without blinking an eye. If Illumi, who is a savage and a genius Nen user, is a 9.5 out of 10 in Hisoka's eyes, I would presume or speculate that Genthru and Kastro would be around 5.5 to 6 out of 10 in Hisoka's estimation. Both of these Nen users are skilled at what they do. They are extremely different to each other, but each is a capable fighter in their own right. Kastro is a enhancer, and as we know, that is the most balanced category that even Kurapika hoped he would be an enhancer at first, because you can easily strengthen defense and attack capabilities without even needing to develop a complicated ability. Simply, what is best to do is to keep training and increase the capacity of strength and defense so you can be outmatched in close combat fights. But we know Kastro went the other route. He learned and developed a Hatsu such as double that belongs in conjuration, and as an enhancer he has only 60% learning proficiency of this Nen category. Kastro definitely halted his progress by focusing too much on this new ability that he shouldn't even have tried to create at the first place, and as Hisoka stated, he overloaded his capacity of using Nen, otherwise called memory overload. However, Kastro's Tiger Bite Fist is certainly remarkable with a lot of power in it. If he had focused into that, he would certainly be a threat to deal with. Genthru belongs in the affinity that Kastro trained so hard to master, and that is conjuration. We know that in conjuration, a Nen user keeps working on visualizing an object and brings that into life, materialization by using aura, and the strength and ability of this conjuration depends on the skill and the level of the user. So you can create Nen bombs like Genthru did, a outstanding vacuum that can absorb anything non-living like Shizuku did, a simple katana, or even chains like Kurapika. It depends on the Nen user's capacity and intention. Genthru is simply terrifying if you think about it. In his years inside the Greed Island game, he has destroyed many people without even thinking twice. He only cares about his two friends Sub and Bara. His abilities are certainly scary because he acts at first all innocent. He touches his targets and meets all his conditions required to turn on his Hatsu countdown. Basically, all Genthru has to do is touch his target, say Bomber, and explain his ability, and he can conjure the bomb not only in one target but in many simultaneously. And when the 6000 timer reaches 0, the bomb goes off off, and if the victim's heartbeat is fast from panic, it goes off even faster. Genthru is skilled at using Nen because not only he uses conjuration for this ability, he combines it with the usage of manipulation and emission affinities. He certainly is very intelligent and strong, that even Tesgera, who is a 1-star hunter, admitted he is no match for him. But at that point, Tesgera hadn't even trained the basics of Nen in a long time. Kastro is certainly smart, but I would give the edge to Genthru. He managed to reach such a high level inside the game by strategizing. His ability to fool many people and put bombs on them, his manner of staying calm and devising devilish plans is on another level. Kastro, in his fight with Hisoka, remained calm at first, but at the first moment he was outsmarted, he lost his cool and ultimately lost. Although I do admit he performed pretty well, despite Hisoka not giving it his all. Genthru is cautious and very clever, also very strategic, and this is backed by the fact that he performed very well in the game, gathering cards, outmaneuvering many other opponents. Although mostly weaker than him, he made all the other players fear him until the very end, up until the point he fought Gon. Genthru's main close combat weapon is his ability Little Flower, in which he can create and set off deadly explosions by using the palms of his hands. If Genthru grabs you while using this ability, the blast that goes off is extremely lethal and packs a huge blow. Although it is less powerful than his other ability Countdown, it's deadly if you can't defend with more aura than Genthru applies on his hands when using this ability in close combat. Both Kastro and Genthru have considerable experience in combat. I would say Kastro has even more experience, as Genthru resorts to shady tactics to win and tricky strategies and mostly fights people weaker than him, while Kastro has fought many matches in Heaven's Arena against formidable Nen users, not like Giro and Sadaso, but way stronger than them. Kastro's bad luck was that he fought Hisoka and couldn't manage to further progress and grow as a Nen master, while Genthru fought a more experienced Gon than he was in Heaven's Arena, and Gon managed to win thanks to his prior knowledge of Genthru's abilities and the results of immense training with Biscuit Kruger and her advice. Now let's talk about the most impressive feats of both these amazing characters, and ultimately let's fairly decide the victor. Kastro was so swift, quick and masterful while activating his double ability to attack Hisoka that the clown didn't even realize what happened. He took Kastro's advice to pay attention, and he sacrificed his arm to closely observe to finally grasp the ability of Kastro. Kastro's Tiger Bite Fist is so strong it even impressed Killua and Wing, the latter stating that if he had focused on that only, he would be one of its strongest masters. Kastro did cut off quite easily both of Hisoka's arms and landed many quite strong attacks on him, putting him on the ground quite easily. But you could say though, Hisoka wasn't being fully serious. Still, it's very impressive, and if he tried that against Genthru with that immense aura output and speed, even Genthru wouldn't block it. His best option would be to evade, that is if he can. Genthru is also very fast. He was even faster than Gon, while also being a very strong hand-to-hand fighter. He absolutely was destroying Gon at first, who is a enhancer. He was cooking Gon with easy difficulty. Genthru was reading Gon's aura like a book, completely seeing through his strategy at first, completely breaking down that Gon knew when he was going to use Little Flower or not by focusing on his Gyo. So Genthru is certainly cunning. Both Kastro and Genthru can read the flow of aura of the opponent. Kastro displayed this when meeting Killua. He instantly read his aura, while Genthru displayed this while fighting Gon. He could tell Gon's control of aura is beginner level and that it could not match the speed of the attacks Gon did. So basically Genthru could read Gon's next attack pretty easily. I figure Kastro can do this as well at some degree. In hand-to-hand combat, Genthru and Kastro have considerable amount of skill and experience, although Kastro does have more experience overall. If we observe their physique, it's quite similar. However, Genthru does appear to be taller. However, it's not that important. If we talk about the amount of aura capacity, I would say they are around the same level. However, Kastro's Tiger Bite Fist looks like it has some considerable amount of aura output behind it. If we talk about Greed Island Gon versus Kastro Kastro in Heaven's Arena, it's not even close at all. Gon learned some advanced applications of Nen like Ko, Ryu, and Shu, but Kastro already knew all of those. He is faster, way stronger physically, with vastly more combat experience and a better enhancer overall, and he would overpower Gon in 10 times out of 10. Basically, Gon would get the same beating he got from Hisoka and Genthru by Kastro. Genthru, when using Little Flower, he covers his hands with more oil than he uses to detonate, so he can protect his own hands and not get damaged in his process of the explosion on the opponent. This was taught to Gon by Biscuit, very knowledgeable and a ultimate level Nen user. That's how Gon managed to outsmart Genthru with his new profound knowledge of advanced applications of Nen. He had trained his Gyo to a advanced level and he knew pretty much how Genthru's abilities work. Now Kastro, in his fight with Hisoka, after the magician started doing psychological tricks on him, he failed to actually see for himself. I mean, the most basic thing he could do after seeing Hisoka's tricks is to activate Gyo and check if there was anything suspicious on how his arm came back all clean and nice. But if you remember, even Uvogin didn't use Gyo when he fought Kurapika at first. He forgot about it and was easily distracted, so I guess that means something. So Kastro had forgotten to apply the basics and focused only on his new doppelganger ability. He depended too much on it, but his doppelganger ability is certainly very cool and very strong. Now Genthru and Kastro come face to face, not in a forest but in a open field. How would that turn out? Neither of them have knowledge of each other's abilities, so this is kind of tricky. If Kastro activates his ability doppelganger and sends it to attack first, just like he did against Hisoka, Genthru might actually get dealt a significant blow, because if Hisoka, a next level genius Nen user, couldn't actually figure it out quickly and react on time, Genthru is definitely not doing that either. So Kastro can definitely finish him off with a Tiger Bite Fist easily if Genthru feels the impact of the attack of the double. Even if Genthru actually dodges the first attack, the double will keep on attacking while the real Kastro prepares to attack as well with another strong Tiger Bite Fist. He can even make the clone actually perform the Tiger Bite Fist, which would split Genthru in half no matter how much aura he applies to defend. It's a splendid technique. You can't block it that easily, and I doubt Genthru would actually block Tiger Bite Fist at all, because I don't think he has that much of a high level of aura capacity. Genthru's best bet in a first encounter with Kastro is to use Little Flower by trying to get close to him and actually deal damage to Kastro, but will he actually figure out who is the real Kastro, and can Genthru actually manage to get close to the real Kastro and grab him? Because we know Kastro uses the ability pretty damn well, unless the bomber is as observant as he is tricky, which in reality I think he is pretty tricky. Kastro can't recreate on the double the effects of the battle dealt on him, like blood, scratches and other things. If Genthru actually managed to get close to Kastro and activate his flower ability, he would do good damage, but if he grabs the double and Kastro quickly dispels it off, because we know Kastro is very fast in turning it on and off, he can actually cut off Genthru's arm or leg in a surprise attack. If Kastro is using Gyo all the time in battle, he can tell what Genthru is trying to do, so Genthru would try to get close to Kastro, but he would keep his distance. He would try to get close to Kastro to get a hold of him and deal some damage, which I think Kastro would definitely grasp the situation pretty quickly. Kastro would be on guard every time and his aura would be placed higher at the place Genthru is trying to grab. Kastro is not stupid at all. We have underestimated Kastro because he fought Hisoka. We all know who Hisoka is. Genthru is not at the level of Hisoka in any way, shape or form. I would say Kastro's Tiger Bite Fist has even more power than Gon's Janken, which he used to attack Genthru and finish him. Both Kastro and Genthru lose their cool as soon as their plans go out the window, but I would definitely expect Kastro to win 7 times out of 10 in high difficulty. Kastro is a strong enhancer, while Genthru is a conjurer, so Kastro has definitely more chances of winning. He is stronger than even Gon. He has trained a lot before fighting Hisoka, and he is way stronger in close combat than Genthru and has considerable vast amount of experience. Genthru definitely can't use his countdown down ability on Kastro at first encounter if he hasn't touched Kastro and explained his ability. If they fought in Heaven's Arena, Genthru is absolutely cooked. It doesn't matter how well Genthru reads aura, Kastro would definitely prevail because Kastro is definitely a strong opponent for Genthru. Kastro would only lose if he's not using Gyo at all, but I feel like what happened with Hisoka wouldn't happen against Genthru. Kastro won 9 fights before fighting Hisoka again. I found it hard to believe he didn't use Gyo at all. He was simply distracted by the psychological tricks of the deadly magician. So Kastro wins because in close combat his doppelganger is next level. In reality, it's real tough to deal with, especially by Genthru, who is not that strong physically. He is not at the level of Kastro. Kastro is a natural enhancer, while Genthru is a conjurer. So basically, you can't even get that close to Kastro to activate the flower ability, and Kastro can even attack with the Tiger Bite Fist at any time. I feel like this is all I wanted to say. There are many other things I could say, but this is my opinion, and I want to hear your comments down below. Tell me who do you think would win and why, and if you enjoy this type of content, consider subscribing. I want to reach that 1000 sub goal, and check out my other Hunter x Hunter related content.